Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar for today, which is called How to Drive Growth to Customer Journey Mapping. And of course, we have today our very special guest in the person of Kirk Jimenez, who is going to be joining us very shortly. But before, without further ado, let's get started and get into the main subject for today and what you're going to be learning and what you're going to be taking away. And if you have questions, please wait until the end of the webinar and we'll be happy to answer them as many as possible. Okay, awesome. So our webinar, how to drive growth with customer journey mapping. What you're going to be learning today is the reason why customer is king. Now, we've gone over this before, but there are many different ways of saying how important the customer is to your business, and we're going to be going over that importance again today. We're going to be understanding the customer journey mapping. They're going to be looking at some of the types of customer journey maps that you're probably going to see in your business, why it's important, the stages of customer journey, and most importantly, 7 different steps on how you can build and optimize your customer journey map. Before we get started, for those of you that don't know me, I'm going to reintroduce myself again. My name is Divine Onilonu. I am a Nigerian Canadian with lots of years in business and managerial experience. I am also the CEO of Divine Assistants and Nile and Dala. So Nile is our software company and Dala is our not-for-profit learning academy, which we plan on launching sometime in August and September of this year. I have a diploma in business management from Oxford College, where I graduated with honors, and I'm currently in the process of getting my bachelor's in business administration in project management. I've worked with an executive assistant, I've worked as an office manager, and this is the things that have helped me build my experience and build my knowledge in the business managerial field. And of course, understanding how to work with people, how to work with individuals, how to build your brand from ground up. All of these experiences I've, piled up and have given me so many, I've learned so many things from working with all of these different peoples and working with different stages of life and different types of businesses in the past. Awesome. So about Divine Assistants. Divine Assistants is my company, as most of you already know. Those of you that don't know, Divine Assistants is the virtual assistant service that offers a personal touch. Now, what we do is that we provide highly skilled digital management services to help you as a business or entrepreneur manage your day-to-day activities. So you're going to be getting things like, your own personal virtual assistant, your own personalized marketing team that covers everything from video editing, graphics, script writing, social media management, ads management, SEO. You can also get your own bookkeeper with Divine Assistants. You can get your project managers. You can develop your softwares, websites with us as well. And our main goal is to make sure that every entrepreneur that crosses our path has an easier life, because we want to ensure that we are taking care of the little things so that you as an entrepreneur can focus on the main thing and what is mostly important to your business. Our goal again is to just, we're dedicating our time to assisting a lot of business leaders in focusing on their own company's growth by providing the virtual support that's needed for your organization. So what is the objective of today? Did you know that in 2021, over 70% of people who shopped online ended up abandoning their carts? Now, we want to understand why exactly a customer is going to waste so many hours browsing a store, adding so many different items to that tab, only to end up just closing up and never purchasing. We want to get into the mind of those customers, understand exactly why they did what they did, and how we can help them shop better and understand our products or our services. What is customer journey mapping? So lots of people don't understand exactly what this means, but I'm going to be breaking that down for you so that you can understand exactly what this means and how it's very important to your business. Customer journey mapping, simply called user journey mapping, is the process of creating a customer journey map, a visual story to your customers' interactions with your brand. Again, what connects your product or your services to the customers? What exactly do you solve for them? What problem do you solve for them? What theory, what makes them buy your product? What exactly are they trying to do with that product? And does your product actually solve their problem? This is understanding what customer journey mapping is, what connects one person to the specific product. That is simple as ABC. That is what customer journey mapping is. So what we are trying to do here, and when we say we want to understand exactly what the customer journey map is, we just want to gain insights into common customer pains with the problem in the market and how exactly your products or your services create a perfect solution for them. That is simply what it is. That's as simple as ABC. Okay, awesome. So now let's go into why exactly should you choose customer journey mapping. Again, customer is king. Like we've said it many, many times, but we want to ask a question as an entrepreneur, as a customer. Okay, as a customer, how often do you hear your the person you're buying from say, my customer is the most important person in my business? A lot of businesses say that because that's the truth. But if they don't make you feel important, how would you know that you are important to their business? Right? So if somebody tells you, most people say when you show love, it's not by words, it's also by action. When you tell somebody you're very important to me, I love you so much, but your actions are saying something completely different, then you don't really love that person because you're saying one thing and you're doing the other thing. Now, connecting your customers, like when you say my customer is very important to my business, they're very important to my welfare, but you're not showing it very often that your customers are important to you, then your customers are not going to have that personal feel, that personal thing that connects them to your product. Again, the market is very saturated, and I can guarantee you that if you have a product or an idea or a service that you're currently doing, there's probably somebody out there that does something similar, if not exactly the same, to what you're doing. But what separates you, what makes that person come back to buy from you as opposed to buying from your competitors? Ensuring that your customers feel happy with your product is very, very important. If they feel happy, they're most likely going to refer you to many people, even if your product is a one-time product. Maybe they buy it once and that's it. But because of the way that you satisfy their needs, because of the way that you attended to them, how you took care of them, they're most likely going to refer you to somebody else, refer you to their friends, their families, and bring more businesses for you. Like we said, referral is the oldest method of marketing that will never go out of style. Referral marketing is something that will never, ever end, no matter how old we are, even if we come out of the digital age. Referral marketing, word of mouth, is that one marketing style that has been in existence since business started, since we started exchanging transactions, and it's the one marketing method that will never stop. So ensuring that your customers are happy and ensuring that your products or your services really, really targets their pain points is absolutely important. Now, we're going to be having a very special guest on board. He's a very good friend of mine. His name is Kirk Jimenez. Most of you already know him. I promote him a lot on my LinkedIn. I look up to him very much because he's taught me so much in terms of branding, how to put my logo, as you guys can see. He was the one that told me to do that. So he's been an amazing friend, a big supporter of Divine Assistance. He is a 2-time Emmy winner and a Latino TV pioneer. And he was the first Latino to be hired by ESPN in 2003. I'm pretty sure most of our guys here watch ESPN, we watch the match. So he was hired in 2003 by ESPN to anchor in English. He has over 30 years of experience in anchoring, speaking in front of millions of people, communication, branding. He also has his own TV network, which is called Sizzle TV, where he uses his platform to promote Black and brown people. He's an amazing person and a really good friend of mine. Not only is he a business person he's very smart in his business, he's also a kind-hearted person. So if you can help me bring on Kirk Jimenez, and he's going to be teaching us just a little bit about branding and how we can exactly position ourselves in the market and ensure that we are really satisfying our customers. Hi, Kirk, come on board.
I'm unmuting myself, but I'm throwing you kisses because, we Hispanics love throwing kisses. I feel the love. Yeah. I reciprocate the love. You're a dear friend. You're amazing at what you do. And just so you know, Divine has helped Sizzle TV in terms of our marketing, our emailing, her entire team, from Vivian on down. They're all amazing women, and not just women, but people. And they all emanate just a positive and lovely, beautiful energy. And I'm proud to work with them and have them elevate me as I elevate them as well, and have it be a mutual road. And that marketing, like you said, I told her, you have to market yourself. And that's in every Zoom and in everything you do, because it's like a broadcast. And that's what I've been trying to explain to people is every Zoom that you're on is an opportunity to brand yourself, even if you're just sitting in the Zoom. If you're on camera and people are looking at the side screen, they're going to see you, they're going to see your logo instead of some just generic picture. So the branding goes, in and of itself with that as well. And also with the name, like Divine, I had changed my name to Kirk Jimenez Sizzle TV, but then I realized, wait, my Sizzle TV is everywhere. So if you don't have your brand, make sure you at the very least change the name in your Zooms when you're jumping on these Zooms, to change it to your name, and then the company name as well. So, if you guys want to hear more about what we do and how to really elevate your marketing, it's having that mentality, and I call it a performance mindset. Right now, I'm giving you my performance as well, the same energy, the same mindset that I got when I was on ESPN, trying to bridge that digital divide. We anchors speak into what? A dark void of a camera. That's all we're speaking into, but we're trying to reach into everyone's living rooms when we're anchoring and broadcasting a live show and a live newscast. That's the same thing you're doing on any Zoom that you jump on. Treat every Zoom with that performance mindset where you want to put your best foot forward. You have to dress the part. If I come on here just in a regular t-shirt, I'm not going to be dressed the part. I have to be in my anchor attire and wardrobe. And I've been getting that a lot from other marketing experts as well, as when you jump on a Zoom with someone else, this is part of your marketing and your branding, is how you market and brand yourself as the owner, as the sales rep. You elevate your own marketing, your own branding just via Zoom with having that mentality. And I've spent, Divine went into it a little bit, 23 years anchoring and reporting on television from ESPN to now hosting Sizzle TV. And this vast experience can help elevate your performance, not only on Zoom, on stage, but in person as well. And now I'm going to provide, who's ready for 3 practical tips? I'm going to give you 3 practical tips. These are old school anchoring, network anchoring tips that every network anchor uses, from Africa to Antarctica. Okay. Anyone who's ever anchored network uses these tips. All right. Now, the number one, and I'm doing it right now, and I do it before every Zoom. I used to do it on ESPN. I do it for Sizzle TV still to this day. And I use these. Number one, this is my 3 practical tips. If you want, I usually suggest people to write them down. And I'm going to be teaching these to 4,000 Google employees this coming month in March. So write them down on a little Post-it note wherever you can. Put them on your monitor, so you have these and they become part of your just natural fiber. And just part of what you do on a regular basis to get your mindset, to get your visualization set, to get your performance mindset before you hit connect on Zoom, Google Meetup, Teams, whatever software you use to connect with people nowadays and speak to people. And the number one tip is sit on the edge of your seat. Literally sit on the edge of your seat. This is going to keep you on edge, not only physically, but up here in between the two, your 2 ears, mentally as well.
Awesome.
It's going to help with your posture. Obviously, you're going to look more professional. And it's going to help with your breathing, which always leads to a more authoritative tone. If you're crouching, if you're bent over, you're not going to be as sharp mentally or physically or vocally. So always right before you connect. And this helps also with anxiety. I've come to find out as I've coached other people, from lawyers to other corporations and other corporate executives, it helps you decompartmentalize, because a lot of us are working from home. It's been 2 years since the pandemic. You're working from home. You're dealing with the home stressors. If it's kids, if it's the washing machine or dishwasher overloading, the AC going up, not having AC, or whatever stressors you have at home, this helps you decompartmentalize and realize, okay, I'm getting ready, and gets you in state of a business mindset and a performance mindset. So sit on the very edge of your seat. And that's the one you should really have written down on your monitor, right next to your monitor, to hit before you hit record, or before you hit connect. Number 2, you have to hype yourself up. What does that mean? That means get into that performance mindset no matter how. Tell yourself you're going to crush this performance. You're going to crush this webinar. You're going to crush this sales call, whatever it is. This is going to help you stay focused and on track with your messaging. Now, what does that mean? Do you shake it off? Do you change the mindset? Do you do like Beyonce? Beyonce has an alter ego. Her alter ego, does anyone know who Beyonce's alter ego is? Her alter ego is Sasha Fierce. She is a very shy person, and she goes into that alter ego state for any performance in any interview. I'm not saying you have to come up with an alter ego. You can shake yourself off and get mentally ready before you sit on the edge of your seat or as you're sitting on the edge of your seat. But as you practice this more and more, it's going to become second nature. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. So for me, it's second nature. And it's something that I do automatically. For instance, I was telling Divine before I jumped on here, I've had a terrible day. She herself has had a terrible day, right? We've had a very challenging day. But what did I do? I practiced what I preach. I did my own practical tips, right? I followed my own practical tips before I connected to this Zoom, scooted up to the edge of my chair, planted my feet, got myself on edge mentally and physically, and ready to perform in my performance mindset. I'm not giving you one of these, and I'm sitting here talking to you, and it's like, well, guys, or giving you one of these cool looks. No, I'm giving you my most professional anchor vibe, because that is what's going to help me bridge the digital divide and reach into you and really connect with you. And you're like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about, and he's not full of what. And finally is framing. You see how I'm framed in the screen. Make sure your headroom is just right, and that you are camera ready. That includes the shaking off your mindset, however you want to get ready, right? And make sure you think about these things before you hit connect on every Zoom call, before you get on any stage, and before you make any public statement. And it also works for social media, right? If you do this for social media, if you're doing a B2B video for social media or an Instagram video, these the same principles, the same practical tips before you hit record on Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media it is, before you record this messaging, before you send this video to a client, or before you record it for a client, always have those 3 tips in mind. All right. Once again, what are they? Number 1, sit on the edge of your seat. That's the top one. It's going to help with your posture, your vocal intonation, your authoritative tone. Number 2, you got to get hyped. You got to get ready for this. And that's part of the performance mindset. And number 3, framing. You got to look like a pro and sound like a pro. And that includes the framing, that includes the marketing and your logo behind you that Divine was talking about. And it's all about the customer mapping. If Zoom is part of your customer experience, you got to give them the most professional, polished customer experience that you can out there. And how do you do that? By elevating your Zooms. How do you do that? By elevating your mindset and being ready in that positive mindset. And you can think out of the box. I had a client recently after 2 coaching sessions. He's a parent coach, correct? He helps parents overcome issues that have with their kids. And he came up with an amazing concept because he got into I taught him to get into a producer mindset, how to produce the Zoom. How are you going to connect to the people on the other side of the Zoom and make it more charismatic? Think outside the box. He came up with a scenario where he's talking about having issues with his kids and overcoming those kinds of lose your parent moment, lose it moment. And he faked during the Zoom that one of his children walked in and interrupted the Zoom. He started screaming at his child. And at the very end of the Zoom, everyone was very uncomfortable. And he realized, and he told everybody, by the way, that was all an act. My child is at school right now, but I just wanted to show you guys how to handle it differently. So I was really proud of him when he gave me that speech in a practice Zoom session. And he had me hook, line, and sinker. But why? Because he got into that performance mindset and said, how am I going to provide a better product for my clients? His clients, he coaches clients over Zoom, other than just giving them simple slides. And I told Divine before this, I said, no, Divine, I don't need slides. I want to connect with people. People are tired of slides, right? And they may be overtired of slides. You want to connect with someone who's real, who's not fake, and you don't want to be writing down too many notes. That's why I provide only 3 practical tips. So dumb it down, keep it simple, right? But be as polished and professional as possible. If you'd like to learn more about how to elevate your performance mindset, just email me. You see my email there, kirk@sizzle.tv, that's sizzle with an X. And you can, I'll have a full digital course coming up soon as well. So you can follow me on social media. It's just at Kirk Jimenez. I have a full digital course coming up on not only performance mindset, but storytelling and the basics of journalism, which is storytelling. And that's going to enable you to tell not only your own story, but the story of your brand and your business.
Awesome.
I have 10 minutes yet, because I can keep going.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. If you if you've got more for us, keep going.
Okay, one quick story, and I'm going to tell you a quick story on how I first became aware of what a performance mindset was. My very first TV job was here in Miami, and I was 21, 22 years old, and it was the very first station that I worked here, and I was working behind the scenes overnight, so that means my shift was midnight to 10 a.m., and we did the morning newscast. Morning newscasters get there midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., between midnight to 3 a.m., depending on what your job is. And we had the weather lady. She was a weather person, and she gets a phone call from out of state, from, I think her hometown was Ohio. Her grandfather just died 5 minutes before we went live on the air. She was bawling, crying, just a complete disaster. Divine doesn't use any makeup because she's naturally beautiful, but this woman wore a lot of makeup. So her makeup was streaking, mascara on, and I'm thinking, I'm a young producer, I'm thinking, oh my word, how are we going to do a live broadcast when in the morning everyone's tuning in to see what the weather is like, and our head meteorologist is in shambles because she just got a phone call that her grandfather died 30 seconds before we went live, right? And I saw her get, we have a stage manager. The stage manager counts you down. Stage manager counts you down. We're going 30 seconds from live television. 20, 19, 18. She grabs her emergency mascara from behind the desk, dusts it off, reapplies the makeup, and with 10 seconds left, I see her take a deep breath, and all of that melted away. She decompartmentalized it, and we're live. The viewer had no idea that she had just gotten a phone call that her grandfather had just died. She delivered a flawless newscast, and I was blown away. To this day, she has no idea what kind of impact she had on me, my career, and all the interns I've taught since then, and all the times I've told that story, but it just blew me away. So I always remember that, and I always channel that performance mindset before I connect on anything. So always remember, that was a live broadcast in Miami. I've been live worldwide across on ESPN. It doesn't matter what the platform is. Give us your best for performance. Doesn't matter if on the other side is one person on the Zoom, 2 people on the Zooms, 3 people on the Zooms. I'm going to be doing a Zoom with 4,000 people at Google. I'm going to be giving them the same energy, the same professionalism I'm giving you here today. Makes no difference, correct? And why is that? Because of the 3 practical tips. Always perform at a high level and have the realization that you are conducting a broadcast. Zoom is a broadcast. You're disseminating a message, you're trying to connect to an audience, and you're trying to close a deal, correct? Yep. In a broadcast, you're not trying to close a deal, but you're trying to keep their attention so they can keep watching your show. Yep. Same thing. So I hopefully that elevates all of you, opens up a new mindset for when you are ready to get on Zoom. And listen, it's something as simple as dressing the part. A lot of I've gotten this from other business owners, Divine, and you can chime in. Mm-hmm. They'll let me know. It's like, wow, you look so nice. And I appreciate the fact you're actually dressed up for me. And these are CEOs who they're in their offices, their corner offices, and they're just wearing a regular shirt. They're not expecting me to jump on wearing a full anchor getup, correct? Yeah. But they appreciate it, and they state that that appreciation. You're already winning, correct? Once they express that, that they trust you, and they like you, and they're impressed by you. And all it took was a little extra effort by me not to be in a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Correct? Not that I'd be in a hoodie here in Miami, but you get my point.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kirk. That was very informative. Does anybody have any questions for him? Please, if you have questions, you can feel free to drop it in the chat. That was awesome. Like, I also learned a lot of things. I took notes. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kirk. Any questions from anybody?
Don't be shy, and come on camera if you're going to ask him. I'm putting, maybe they don't want to come on, they don't want to come on camera.
Yeah, Vivian said,
They're
wow,
all shy. I see,
insightful.
look, I
Thank
see a
you.
lot of cameras. I see a lot of cameras on black or just their name. Nobody wants to come on.
Yes, nobody's coming on.
Like, no way am I, especially after that broadcast thing. No way am I gonna jump on camera.
Thank you so much, Greg. That's very insightful. Thank you for the knowledge that you passed on today. Like,
And listen, if they do have a question and they're being shy, my Instagram is just my name. I'm gonna type it in the, so
yes,
it's at Kirk Jimenez. I'm verified on all social media. Give me a
perfect.
follow if you have a question. I don't troll and
Awesome.
scroll. I do, and I follow back. I'm not one of those snobs as well.
Okay, Sarah said, when is the class on storytelling?
And that's gonna be a digital class. I just finished filming it or taping it or shooting it, whatever
Okay.
terminology you want to use.
Yeah.
But it's coming shortly. My provider is finishing editing it. And it's the basics of journalism 101 and
Wow.
basics in storytelling.
Okay.
Follow me on all the socials, or especially on Instagram.
Awesome.
I'll be, and on LinkedIn as well, right? It's the same Kirk Jimenez on LinkedIn
Yeah.
everywhere as well.
Yeah.
I'll be posting those as soon as they go live, and it's not cost prohibitive. I believe in elevating people of all colors, because I'm a person of color. And we have to do it. Divine and I connected as fellow immigrants. And we realize that we got to provide more value to our people, and that's why she bridges back to Africa. I bridge back to Venezuela. And any immigrant. So I don't create things that are cost prohibitive. I want to elevate, educate, and help people. So thank you for asking, Sarah. But it's coming soon, hopefully within the next few weeks. So stay tuned.
Awesome. And listen, guys, so Kirk is actually going to be donating his course to Dollar Academy. For those of you that don't know it. So we are going to be learning a lot from him. I'm excited to see how we're going to work together on the academy. Everything's coming together. So if you don't catch the one on storytelling, definitely you're going to see him on our academy as well.
And listen, in case you can't find me on LinkedIn, I'm going to grab my LinkedIn, if I may, hijack your chat for a while. There's my LinkedIn.
Yes, go ahead. You can dump all your information in the chat. So guys, his name, for those of you that are not seeing the chat and you're going to be watching the recording, you can find him at Kirk Jimenez on LinkedIn or Sizzle TV, on Instagram at Kirk Jimenez, on Facebook. I think you're on Facebook, right? At Kirk Jimenez.
Correct.
Same, it's the same.
And listen, if you want to watch Divine has her own Sizzle TV episode. Download Sizzle TV on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Samsung if you have those three at home. And you can watch Divine and the episode on Divine Assistance, the amazing things she's doing, not only Divine in the Americas and Canada, but also crossing over the Atlantic to Africa as well, and how she's elevating women on multiple continents. Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you so much, Kirk. Thank you so much, guys. And does anybody have any questions for him? Any other question? Oh, Shay, I think you are into sales. You are going to have a lot to learn from Kirk, definitely.
And you're welcome. I'm seeing a lot of thank you. So you're welcome, guys.
Awesome.
And again, listen, I've been at this for 30 years. I'm almost 50 years old. And I'm just starting to realize how all the stuff I've done on camera as an anchor has a modern day application to what we're doing right now. Yes. And that's why Google is, I blew away the Google executives' minds when I let them know this. And they're like, yes, you got to coach all our employees. And I'm having that experience with other corporations as well.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, then we're going to go back into our session so that we can finish up on the rest of the items that we have. So we want to understand exactly what customer journey mapping is. So like I said, customer journey mapping was first introduced more than 20 years ago by Oxford as part of their own development, and it's still very new to the business world. But today we have a lot of, we have a lot of people practicing it. Not a lot of people know about what customer journey mapping is, but we also have people that are practicing it in different ways or methods that you don't even know that you're practicing as a business owner. So we're going to be looking at exactly some of the ways that you can, as an entrepreneur, you can tap into your customer journey map and understand exactly what your customer wants and how to relate with your customer. Okay. Now, Types of customer journey mapping. We have four types, which is typically the current states, future states, the day in the life, and the service blueprints. Now, what is the current state? This is the behaviors, ideas, and feelings that your customers are currently having or experiencing when interacting with your company as of the time that they make the purchase or as of the time that they are interested in your product. Now, the future state is also, it portrays the routine, ideas, and emotions that customers might experience different, the feelings that they might experience doing interactions with your business. So just because you sold a product or you started a service doesn't mean as a business, as an entrepreneur, your journey doesn't end there. You also want to ensure that that product or that service that you've sold to that customer actually performs the task that you said it was going to perform for that customer. If it's not getting the job done, then your job is not finished. Your product has not served its purpose. So the future state, it portrays any routines, ideas, or emotions that your customers might experience, emphasis on might experience during their interaction with your business. So you want to ensure that whatever you've delivered aligns with your goals and your mission. Then the day in the life. This is just the day-to-day activities, the pain points that your product or your services serves in the life of that customer. How they use your product on a day-to-day basis. Maybe they don't use it on a day-to-day basis, but how frequently they use the product, how often it works for them, how often they use your services, how exactly is the day-to-day transaction of your product or your services servicing the life of that customers on a daily basis. That is the day in the life. Then your service blueprint involves creating the best possible customer experience, taking into account all the variables like people, policies, technologies, and processes. Your blueprint is then gathering all of this information from your current state, your future state, your day in the life, all of these things, putting it together to understand exactly what your customers are experiencing when they use your product or your services. Now, importance of customer journey mapping. We've gone over all of these things. Why is it very important for you to map your customer journey? The first one is it allows you to optimize your customer's onboarding process. Now, for most of us that have services, most especially services, we're going to be experiencing processes where we have to onboard our clients, because when they sign the contract and they're ready to go and they're ready to buy that product, you need to first of all go this first step. What is the first step in the process? So if you understand exactly how your customers use your product, you understand the timeline, you can easily create an onboarding process that's easy for your customer and also easy for any other person that's involved in the transaction of that product. Oh my God, sorry about that. Any other person that's involved in the transaction of that process, whether it's from your employees or the delivery guys or whatever, how exactly the onboarding process is, optimizing that and understanding what your customers do after they get the product makes it so much easier for you. Then you also want to benchmark the customer's experience against what they actually received. Again, you want to make sure that once you've sold the product, you've sold the services, it does the work it needs to do. Otherwise, your product does not serve the purpose. It also allows you to understand different buyer persona and also help you understand how your customers move from, just knowledge, knowing about your product, all the way to when they buy. So again, there's a step-by-step guide. Sometimes when you put your product out or you put your services out on the market, people don't buy right away. First of all, they're informed. After they become informed, then they become interested. Once they become interested, they take your product or your idea into consideration, right? And then they buy. Most of the time, this timeline will spread out over a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, sometimes even 2 years. It's all up to the customer, but you want to really understand exactly what makes them to go from, okay, I'm interested, I know about this product, all the way to I'm interested, I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to buy it. Then you also want to create a logical order for your buyer's journey. This is why it's very important for you to understand your customer journey map, because now once you understand it, you can now create a logical order at which they go from getting to know about the product. Maybe you want to test them, you want to send them a test. Understanding exactly what it is, it just makes you create that logical order step by step and makes the customers understand exactly what you're selling and how it's going to fit into their problems and solve their pain points. Then we have 7 simple steps that you can use to build a customer journey map. The first one is to set a clear objective for your map. This simply means you want to understand and ask information that's going to help you understand what exactly you're trying to achieve. What is the mission of your product? What is it supposed to do? If you understand exactly what you're trying to sell, what your product is supposed to do for the market, it will make it easier for you to understand your buyer's persona and make it easier for you to understand your customer's journey. So it's very important that you have a clear objective of what exactly you want to do, what exactly you want to gain from understanding your customer's journey and what you're going to do with that information once you get it. Because you could get your customer's journey map, but you don't do anything with it. You've wasted time, you've wasted the customer's time, you've wasted a lot of things. You need to know exactly how you want to utilize that information that you've gotten from the customers, because most of the time, understanding your customer's journey may also require you to reach out to your customers and ask them certain kind of questions, ask them for surveys, ask them for information back to help you. It feeds information to you to understand how exactly you can serve your customers better. But if you're taking that information, you've gone through all of these processes, spend time and money putting together all the information, and you don't do anything with it, you don't have any objective for why you're doing what you're doing, then it's pointless. So understand exactly, why do you want to do this? Is it that you want to ensure that you have a clear understanding of the market? Do you want to understand what your product does for your customers? Do you want to understand if your customers are happy with the product? Have that clear objective set out and carry out the task accordingly. The second one is to define your persona and highlight your target audience. Again, this is business 101. When you're starting out a business, you want to understand who your target audience is. If you don't understand who exactly uses your product and what your product does for them, who is your target audience, what are the age grade, what is how much are they likely to spend, what is their status in the community, in the society, what's their gender, what is it, male, female, non-binary, all of that, different genders that we have today. What exactly who exactly is your buyer persona and who is your target audience? Understanding this is another step that you can use to understand your customer journey. Then we're going to go into defining the stage and identifying a goal for each of them. So we have different steps in the customer journey. Like I said earlier, there are 4 typically different ways that you can use to understand and use to identify the goals for your customers. The first one is awareness. When a person is aware of your product, they know exactly what you're selling. Okay, first of all, if you're not marketing properly, nobody's going to be aware of your product. You can have a product, you can have a magnificent product that does magnificent things for your customer, your target customers. But if you don't know, if you don't market it, and if you don't keep them informed or keep them aware of your product, then all of that money and that time that you've used in creating all of that product, it does nothing. So ensure that you're keeping your customers informed and making sure that they're aware of your product, what your product does for the markets. Once they're aware of it, then they're going to start considering that product. They're going to start thinking, okay, does it really solve my problem? If they start looking through your reviews and looking through your comments and looking through your Instagram page and looking through your website, they're taking that, whatever they've seen, into consideration. They're considering the pricing, they're considering the timeline at which the product is going to work. Once they start looking at all of those things and start asking questions, what does it do for me? How is this going to work? They are now considering, they're in the stage of consideration. When they finally consider, they can decide whether or not they want to go with the product or not. And once they go with the product, then you get your money. They purchase the product. Now, after the customers purchase the product, we have different stages in the department, different stages in our company. In my company, we have the sales, we have the marketing, we have the development. I always tell my team, with the sales, your job ends with the sale. But with the business person, my job doesn't end there, because then I have to follow up and ensure that whatever is it that we have sold to that customer actually does what it says it does. Because again, that is how we retain the customer. That is how we ensure customer loyalty, which we reviewed in our last webinar In January, we also looked at the importance of branding and how it's important for you to build your brand equity. If you don't retain your customers, you're just going to be having, it's like trying to fill water in a basket. You know, you keep pouring water in, it's never going to fill. It keeps, there's so many different holes that makes it, you know, all the water keeps dripping out. But if you retain that customer, even if they don't buy again from you, maybe they don't have the money, or maybe your product only serviced them one time. If you do a good job for them, they're most likely going to retain you or refer you to somebody else, refer you to a cousin or friend or sister or family member, whatever. They're either going to refer you, give you good recommendation, good reviews, which will also build a lot of trust with other customers that are considering buying your product. Or if your product is something that they can use over and over again, once you retain them, you keep getting income from that customer. You build loyalty. Now imagine if your product sells for $20 every single month. If you build proper customer loyalty and you retain your customers, you care about the customer and you ensure that they feel that they are cared for, that's $20 in your pocket every single month. Now, it's not a lot of money, but do 20 times 12. And then let's say you keep that customer, you're able to keep that customer for 10 years, and that customer keeps paying $20 into your account every single month. Multiply that times 10. How much do you think you've made from that customer? Every small penny that they put in your business matters. And regardless of whether they're spending $20 or they're spending $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000, it doesn't matter. As long as they're spending money on your business, they have a right to good service and a good product that you've promised them. They have a right to feel like they're special because that is what you promised them. Because when you're chasing after them to buy your product, I'm pretty sure that you gave it 101%. Your marketing was untouched. Your politeness, your reviews, all of those things, you were getting all the information. When you get them, you want to keep the same level of satisfaction and ensure that they're happy. Even if you're not, maybe there's some months where you don't do well, go back to them, ask them questions, keep in touch with them, keep them informed. Sometimes just checking in. Hey, how are you doing? How are you liking the product? Is it servicing you? Just all of those different retention methods that you use to just ensure that your clients feel special is very important, because again, that is what is going to help you build brand loyalty over time. Okay. Then we're going to go into the touch points. So this also includes your website, your ads, your reviews. Again, we went over this in our last webinar in January. All of the things that you're putting out there, every item that you put out there should be intentional, because you want to ensure that it also aligns with the message that you're putting for your brand. You want to make sure that your website is on point, updated as necessary. Make sure your ads are on point and it actually defines your brand goals, your vision, your mission, what exactly it's doing. All the reviews you put out there, your influencers, just make sure that all of those things interact with your brand and they don't oppose the brand, but also support the brand. All the messages are on point. Be intentional, very, very intentional about the contents that you put out for your business. Now, once you've done all of these things, you want to start gathering data and customer feedback. You cannot understand your customer journey unless you step into the shoes of your customers and understand how they use your product. So try to do case studies, try to get reviews. And when a person gives a negative review, doesn't necessarily mean that you should toss it aside. If they're giving you a negative review, that means that you need to work on something. Take that review, take it into consideration. And nobody likes to be told that they're wrong. I hate when somebody tells me you've done something wrong, you hurt me in this way or that way. But it is common. Maybe you don't mean to do it intentionally, but it is what the person is feeling as of that time. You need to take that into account, work on that, and fix things. Always learn to take responsibilities. If your product or your services didn't do what you said it was going to do, take that into consideration, look for ways to fix it and keep that customer happy. So once you've gathered all your customers' feedback, you put the positive aside, you put the negative aside. The negative are things that you need to work on and you need to learn how to fix. The positive are things that you need to take and need to learn how to make it better. Okay? Take the positive, use it for reviews, do case studies and all of that stuff. And for negatives, work on it. Speak to your team, speak to your production team, your delivery guys, whoever is it that's handling your product, your influencers or whatever. speak to everybody that goes into, again, all the things that you've put out into the market, gather all of that information and ensure that you're looking for ways to fix the negative reviews of those customers that were not happy with the product. It's very important, because if you don't understand what your customers are saying about your product, you cannot define what your customer's journey map is. Then you want to also determine the pain points and the points of friction. So like we've said, what exactly is the pain point of the customer? If you don't have a target audience, a clearly defined target audience, you don't know what that pain point is. For instance, Divine Assistants. What do we do with Divine Assistants? Who is our target audience? Our target audiences are typically solopreneurs and solopreneurs that are working by themselves or has a small team that want to expand their business, but they don't want to spend a lot of money. They don't want to spend a lot of time working on social media and working on so many different things, because now you have to be everywhere. In this day and age, you have to be everywhere. You have to be on social media. You have to be consistent with social media. You have to check your emails. You have to do so many different things. Divine Assistance takes away all of that pain for you. We carry out the day-to-day tasks so that you as a business can now start focusing on, okay, how exactly do I make my business better? How exactly do I triple my income from what it is to where I want it to be? We'll take away the small activities for you, take away the stress of building your website, take away the stress of building your software, take away the stress of getting an assistant that's going to help you manage your emails, create PowerPoints and all of that stuff. Take away the social media, the content on social media, the scripts, the putting together of the content calendar, the content schedule, when is the best time to post. We take away all of that stress for you, because now we're literally giving you a done for you business management system that manages your business from actualization, from conception, from idealization to actualization. So when you say, I have an idea for a business and you want to start your business, we can help you with building your business plan. Once the business plan is ready, we go into the next step of building your website, developing your target audience, understanding your target audience, preparing your SWOT analysis, your business plan, your business development strategies. Then once you finish all of those things, we also have people that can help you carry out your task, assistants that can help you do all of these things that we have put together, all of these plans and all the strategies that we have combined for you. We now can help you carry out the task that you need in order for you to take that idea and all of that feedback that you've gotten and then take it into making it an actionable item. This is what Divine Assistance does for our customers. And we understand what exactly our business does, who we satisfy, who our demand is. So as an entrepreneur, you should be doing the same thing, understanding exactly who your customers is, your target audience is, what their pain point is, their points of friction, and how your product and your services fit into their day-to-day life. Now, identify areas of improvement. Remember, we talked about getting customers' feedback, right? When you get the customer feedback, split into two. You have the one where okay, I have the good reviews, I have the bad reviews. Bad reviews needs to be fixed, definitely needs to be worked on. Good reviews are good, but just because it's good doesn't mean it can be better. So in my good reviews, is there a place that I can make it better? Is there a place that I can put certain things for improvement that would also help my customers keep them happy? So you need to identify exactly where your areas of improvement are. Do I need to add more or do I need to add less? Because sometimes adding less doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but maybe that's more that you're adding is what's making the customers, it's giving them a lot of pain. So maybe you want to reduce that. Am I communicating too much? Am I sending them too many emails? Am I being too aggressive with my message and all of that stuff? Do I need to do more of that or do I need to do less of that? So identifying the areas of improvement is also very important for your business and very important for you to understand what your customer buying journey is exactly. Awesome. So this is the end of our webinar for today. Before we go into the next step and before I tell you what the package is and what we have for you today, does anybody have any questions for us? Awesome. Okay, so what we're actually doing now for those that have joined us in this webinar, for branding and business planning, we can actually give you a 20% discount. Oh, sorry, was there a message from somebody? Okay, perfect. We have a 20% discount on all of our regular pricing. If you want to build your brand, you want to build your website, we can actually give you up to 20% discount on our regular pricing. And you can also go ahead and manage your business with us, build your brand with us. So when you want to build your brand with us, here's what you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting your creative brief, your logos, your color palette, your visuals and graphic design standards, your iconographies, the icons you use for your visual representation, your brand guidelines and positioning, data research analysis, market strategy, SWOT analysis, your copywriting content for your website, as well as your website, your wireframes and your prototypes. So when we're building the website for you, you will have a wireframe because maybe you want to, in the future, switch to a different developer. When we have that wireframe and the prototype for you, you understand exactly how the developers arrived at where they arrived. So that's what your wireframes and prototype is going to do for you. So you'll get all of that in your package when you want to build with us. And if you want to manage with us, maybe you already have a current business, your business is up and running, and you want to manage your business with us, we can actually give you social media up to 4 posts per week, which also includes a content calendar. We include videos, pictures, scripts. So we create scripts for you that you use to just record, send us the video, we edit it and we post it out for you. We look at the best time to post, we post with the best captions and all of that stuff. We also get up to 40 hours of administrative support per month. So you can get your own personal assistant, whether you want to create, slideshows, presentations, or you want to do your books, you want to do bookkeeping with your assistant, or you want to just manage the general administration of your business, file management and all of that stuff. Your executive administrative assistant can do that for you. You also have ads management, which the marketing team will be handling for you. Your website management from SEO, blogs, SEO audits, articles on a monthly basis, we'll do that for you. And we'll also set up and manage any CRM system that you have that you use to manage your business on a day-to-day basis. So that is pretty much it for today. And thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number, you can also chat with us on WhatsApp, send us an email, or you can visit our website for information. And feel free to reach out to us, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We're available everywhere as well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Does anybody have any questions? Perfect. All right, then. If we don't have any questions, thank you guys for joining. And again, for those of you that didn't attend, you'll also be getting the recording of this webinar. It's going to be available on YouTube, and you can use that and watch it over and over again as needed. Bye, everybody.